Avi Meyer's Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. All of our shows over the last 10 years are on the web and can be found by accessing ntnm.org. Community policing, caps24.org. Sonny, in his spare time, is chairman of the 24th District Advisory Committee. And it is a pleasure to introduce you to, this is a non-election year, so to speak. Yeah, I know you guys had elections in Evanston and Lincolnwood and places like that, and we did some coverage, but it's not a major election year in Chicago. It's always a pleasure to get back to the people who make neighborhoods in Chicago work as opposed to the politicians who make sure things don't work. And I'm referring to the president of the Chamber of Commerce, the president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, Bill Morton. Bill, how you doing?
All right, thank you, Avi. I've got a gift for you.
Oh, wow, thank you. I'm definitely bribable.
These are from Bulldog Ale House, which is one of our new members. And I told Michael, the manager there, that I would be on the show today.
Yeah.
And he's been a fan of yours, and so he asked that I give these to you.
Very nice.
And it's a great place. I had a nice burger
You giving me
last night.
3?
All 3. There you go.
Sonny, you have one. The other 2 we'll worry about when the beer opens. But thank you. And what's his name again?
Michael.
Michael, I'll have to stop by and say hi. Anyway, it's very nice of him. And thank you, Michael. So, there's lots of activity going on. By the way, if you don't follow Bill Morton on Facebook or Twitter, and he is ever present like there's nobody's business, he really knows how to make himself known on social media. You've got a lot of stuff going on right now.
We sure do. We have a No Target Save Our Local Business campaign going on right now. Because we have a Target proposal that's pretty much set to come to our neighborhood at the intersection of Devon and Sheridan.
So Devon and Sheridan, is that where now I'm very familiar with that intersection, is that where the senior citizen housing is, or is that on the east side? That's where it is, where the senior citizen?
It's actually, the proposal would rip up their community center and their green space.
Really?
And the Target would go in that space. The seniors are against the project. The Carolyn Hedger Apartments seniors are against the project. And that's a 22-story, 400-plus unit senior facility.
Are you talking about that thing going down?
No, it's not going down, but it's going to disrupt the seniors' lives.
No, it's going to disrupt it big time. Yeah, you're going to have all kinds of traffic and all kinds of strange people. And
well, there's,
plus, it's really not in character with a lot of the rest of the neighborhood. I mean, one of the nice things about our neighborhood is we don't have as many franchises as the other neighborhoods. So, you've got room for the mom and pop places.
Well, I think that the mom and pop shops, the small local businesses, are the most important. Our neighborhood is the most diverse in the city, if not the entire United States, not only because of the diversity of people, but the diversity of our small businesses as well.
Well, I've been reading where some of the local merchants are actually delaying thoughts of expanding or considering just moving out of the neighborhood already rather than have to compete. And I know it happened over here. We're next door in West Rogers Park. The minute the Home Depot announced that they were opening up, that they were going to be opening up in, next door in, well, actually, I guess it's in Chicago, it might be in Lincolnwood. But, the guy with the hardware store immediately looked to sell his hardware store.
We were speaking with Devon Market, and they actually contacted us, and that's why we're involved with this, because they joined, and they're a small business in Rogers Park that's very important, and we don't want to see them go down. They came to us saying that this Target might kill their business. They've got employees that provide for their families, that love their job, that love our neighborhood, and that are Rogers Park residents as well, and 49th Ward constituents. So we want to make sure that that our local businesses are preserved, and that our people, we represent our residents as well, that our people have jobs and that the families get what they need. It's very important.
And those large chain stores do just that. As a matter of fact, there was a fruit market for decades at Peterson and Lincoln, and family owned, Cugius family. When the Marianos moved in around Peterson and Cicero, which is a good, not quite 2 miles away, but close. That killed their business. I mean, being that close. People flock to these things. They don't think about, and boy, considering the prices, no, it's not a Mariano's, it's a Whole Foods, and considering the prices at a Whole Foods, I mean, I don't know what they're thinking about.
Right. Morris Market also contacted us, and I spoke with George, one of the owners over there. They were planning either a $250,000 or $500,000 expansion to the storefront to the east of them for produce. And I spoke with George just before our meeting with the alderman on the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday, and he said why would they waste their money with an expansion if Target would be coming in and taking a lot of the business away?
Yeah.
And they said they also may have the possibility of closing, or they may have to do some layoffs, possibly, because if the competition comes in, how can you compete with a national corporation? It's really going to be an issue.
Yeah, and the employees over at these places don't exactly make a whole lot of money.
Well, actually, their longevity is like from 1 to maybe 10 years at these local places.
Yeah.
They've been around for a long time, and it's their life and their livelihoods. So they get raises throughout the time.
No, what I was referring to was the Targets. I mean, basically places like that are paying people less than minimum wage. Is union a factor here? Or?
Well, there's three factors with their hiring practices and their workers' rights issue. One is we spoke with the Target representative at a community meeting and at the Chicago Housing Board meeting, and she said that they will not be providing a living wage for their workers. That's huge. There's a difference between minimum wage and living wage.
Right.
Nationally, minimum wage is $7.50, and in the city it's $10.50. In the city of Chicago, it's $10.50, and so living wage is about $13.30, I believe.
Okay.
And we spoke with the alderman about this in particular, and he's a champion. He's been a champion of the living wage versus the big box. The big boxes. Target can be considered the big box. It is a big box, no question about it.
Yeah.
If I believe if Joe is the next gatekeeper on this. If he approves it, it's going through. So we are meeting with him.
Talking about Alderman Joe Moore.
Alderman Joe Moore, yeah. And the thing is, if he is the champion of living wage in regards to the big box, and he goes with this proposal, which said they would by no means allow a living wage, then we have an issue with that.
Yeah, I'd say that's a big issue. I'm not a big fan of. I'm very proud to say, I was telling you this. I have never bought an item in a Walmart in my life. And by the way, the people on the right have a reason to boycott Target too. Because there's a whole movement because they're into the transgender washrooms.
Oh,
so
I've heard about that.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people that. That's the nice thing about Facebook. I'm friendly with politicians on both the left and the right. And boy, it's hard to stay friends given the heat these days. So I just shut up as much as possible on Facebook and just post show notices.
I've had that issue with some of my Facebook friends who have opposing viewpoints on things. And I let them know that we can have opposing viewpoints but still be friends. And even
that doesn't always work, though, unfortunately.
Well, it doesn't always work, but sometimes it does.
People. It's nice when it does, but there's too many people that are getting ballistic because of the impersonalness of social media. When you're talking to somebody face to face, when I'm actually seeing you, like, how often do I see you? Once or twice a year?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, at least I've got a handle on who you are. When I see you on social media, oh, Bill's plugging this. Can I do this? No, it's against the Jewish rules. I can't do that. That's why I can't always give you a thumbs up on your restaurants. But
Right. Well, I understand that, of course.
no, but you know, it's nice because you're always trying to help people, and I'm always in favor of that kind of thing.
Thank you. It's great to support the local businesses, and that's really where it's at. One of the issues that I haven't mentioned yet is that the Target representative also could not guarantee they would hire Rogers Park residents for their new Target store. That's a big issue for Rogers Park people and people in the 49th Ward. And the other thing is they also said that they would not allow third-party representatives in workers' rights issues against the corporation, which would mean unions, which you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, no unions.
No unions allowed. And I know that our Alderman Joe Moore is big into unions.
Big time.
SEIU, and I wonder how he could vote for the Target proposal, not only for the living wage, if he's a champion for living wage, but if he's got the backing of unions when he's trying to get reelected and other things, of course, how he could vote for it based on those two alone.
Yeah. No, those are definitely very good points. 2.5 minute warning.
Thank you.
Sure. No, go with it. Go, you know what else you got on the agenda?
Well, we have a lot of other things in the agenda. The Carolyn Hedger Seniors.
Okay.
We're also helping with them. The Jane Addams Senior Caucus, and I have to mention One Northside. They've been wonderful on the Say No to Target campaign. And
what is One Northside?
One Northside is an Activism, a community activist organization.
Okay.
And they've been on board and heavy at the Chicago Housing Authority meeting with the petition signature collection, with the press conferences, which were covered by
Nice.
NBC, Univision, all the local papers, and I even heard that I was on NPR in the morning. And I don't know, I didn't get to hear it, but I heard I was on NPR in the morning. Which we're getting a lot of coverage.
By the way, you can go to their website and you know, because I do that with NPR sometimes.
And we're getting a lot of coverage, and it's great. And I'm glad. Thank you so much for letting me speak about this here. It makes a big difference.
No, listen. I'm glad to do it. The fact of the matter is, if you can't, you know, well, first of all, I'm a strong believer in local. You know, that's why I've always been editor of ethnic or neighborhood newspapers and never had any desire to work for, you know, plus I want to be my own boss, but there's no way I'd work for like a regular newspaper unless they made me editor-in-chief, if not publisher or king of the world.
Right. Well, you've got that with Jewish Chicago, right?
No, listen, it's my own paper, and the TV show is also my own entity. And by the way, that without getting into my background, I've been editor-in-chief of at least 10 different ethnic and community newspapers besides for Jewish Chicago. And Jewish Chicago I've had since 1982, so it does have a little bit of longevity.
Oh, that's great. We have upcoming events. I'm also president of Leon Beach Park Advisory Council.
Okay.
So the Leon Beach Park Advisory Council is partnering with the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce and Associated Bank to clean up Leon Beach Park, located right next to our office, and we're meeting every second Monday of the month at noon.
Where is that exactly?
7231 North Sheridan Road.
Okay.
And then the park and the beach is wonderful. We got a new playground, and it'll just be like an hour cleanup. It's a feel-good event, and it improves our neighborhood.
Sounds good. Anyway, Mickey's hands are about there. So if people would like to contact you and or the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, and thanks for to Kylie who accompanied you today. We always like to plug you know, the extra people around here.
You can reach us at 773-850-0049 or contact us info@rogerspark.cc. And we're all over Facebook. Find us there. You'll find all of our upcoming events and what we're up to.
Thank you very much, Bill Morton.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you on. Thanks to my entire technical crew, Sonny Hurst. Thanks for joining me today, and see you guys next week. Bye-bye.